Alright guys, a little bit of an update. We're out here on the farm today. It's the middle of June. We're doing a couple projects today. We were actually able to come up here last night and do some glassing. It was the first time we were able to go out there this summer and actually got into some bucks and found a couple nice shooters on some public land, which is pretty cool. And I got some cool video off the spot and scope I'll throw up there. Now keep in mind it is middle of June, so they still got a lot of growing to do, but you can kind of tell what's going to be a shooter and what's not going to be a shooter. And that first one we saw, or the first good one we saw, you could tell he was just working on his 5th tine, and he should be a pretty nice 10-pointer, which that'll be a shooter in my book on public land. But then that other big boy we saw way out there, you could just tell he was different. You could just tell he's going to be pretty big. So that was pretty cool. I actually saw quite a bit of deer last night. We just set up in one spot and they just kind of filtered out there. But that was pretty cool. And then today we got a couple projects to work on. Right now I'm tearing down a tree stand, and then we're going to go hang it up somewhere else. And then after that, one of the main reasons I wanted to get up here is over the past few days, we've had a bunch of big storms roll through here. And we've had this farm about 15, 16 years, and it's by far the biggest flood we've ever seen. We also have a cabin on our property, and it's never gotten flooded, and there was 5 or 6 inches of standing water in it. So pretty nasty flood. We also got some trail cam videos I'll show you guys as well. That we have a big creek that runs through the middle of our property, and obviously that was the main reason why it flooded, but it also got into our fields and flooded the fields. But with all that rain, I'm sure it pushed a lot of stuff up and into the woods, and really wanted to kind of get out here and walk through our trails and see if there's any debris or any trees or any just crap that got in the middle of our trails, and we'll just try and clean them up. I'll have the backpack blower and the sprayer, and we'll just try and clean up our trails and even try and spray them so that we don't have to come back in here until hunting season. But that was the main reason to come up here. Other than that, we're just kind of messing with tree stands, messing with cameras, and just doing a little bit of glassing. But it's already the middle of June. Everything's growing like crazy. It's already getting hot. Mosquitoes are out, but we're going to go ahead and get back after it. Alright, pretty much got the tree stand hung up. We just ran out of straps, so my dad's going back to the cabin to go grab another ratchet strap, and then we'll get the actual stand put on the tree. But we're back here in the boneyard, and as I'm waiting for the strap, I'm just went ahead and walked the trail that we made a month or 2 ago, and just picking up sticks and cleaning the trail. But here's the main bedding area, and if you remember a few videos ago, I walked through this area, and just pretty cool to see that they are definitely bedding in here. This bed over here, you can see it's just worn to the ground, and you can just see all the tracks and just how worn to the ground everything is right here. Definitely using that little bed. All this in here This should be buck bedding, so there should be an early season buck hanging out in here right now. We just hung a camera up too, so hopefully we'll start seeing what's hanging out back here. But hopefully my dad gets back here soon. We'll get the tree stand hung up, and then we'll go walk around all the other trails and clean them up. All right, got the stand hung up. Out that way is the food plot. We got red milo planted in it. It's the first year. We're gonna see how it turns out, but it's looking good right now. We got a fire lane with chicory and clover through here, and it continues down this road to the pond. And it also splits off over here and then down that property line. So plenty of food for them here. And then we got the stand hung up in that big oak tree right there. Let's see, it's right up there. Then we got a licking branch right here. We'll have to get a rope and tie it to bring it down some more. But then we got another licking branch right there. And we got a cell camera on that tree. And if you watched a video or two before, you saw how we did a trail system and a hinge cut through there, and it pinches them down to here. So overall, everything kind of comes together and meets right here. This should be a good spot, and we'll kind of monitor it with this cell cam here, but looking forward to hunting this stand. Here's the food plot. We planted red milo and sugar beets. The milo, you can tell it's coming up pretty good. Should be interesting. This will be the first time we've ever planted red milo, but we'll see what it does. It's looking good so far. And then if you come over here to these chicory and clover strips, the chicory is starting to come up pretty good. There's some clover right down in there too. For the most part though, it's mainly this chicory. But there's some grasses and weeds growing up with it too, so all we'll need to do is wait a little bit and then come back over and mow it. And then that'll knock everything down, and then the chicory and clover will take over the weeds, and that's all we'll have to do. I mean, obviously, the main benefit is it's just more food for the deer. But another great benefit for this too is this creates a fire lane, this green strip here. So when we go, we kind of sectioned it off, and when we go to burn, like if we were to burn this section, we don't have to worry about everything across this fire line catching fire too. So it's got two benefits, and overall it's looking pretty good. All we need to do is come back over here and mow it, and then we should be good to go. All right, I already went ahead and walked through the boneyard and that trail system, and only had to pick up a few sticks and clean up a few things. Other than that, it was pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and head over to the swamp corner and go through that trail system. It's closer to the creek, so there might be a few more things to pick up, but we're gonna go ahead and head that way. So pretty much same story over here. Not a whole lot to clean up, just a few things in the trails, a few things in the beds, but pretty cool to see they're using this little bedding area we made for them. There's even tracks in right there in the mud. There's been tracks all up and down these trails. So they're definitely in here, and they're definitely using the trails, which is pretty cool. There's a track right there. But overall, not as bad as I thought. Yeah, they're definitely using this little area as a bedding area. We're gonna keep working down the trail here. So this is pretty cool right here. I didn't intend for this to be a bed. It just kind of happened. And the deer, they love this kind of stuff where they have this canopy and it almost creates this cave for them. And you can see one kind of got tucked in here and made him a little bed right there. It's all worn down. I can see tracks in it. That's pretty cool. But yeah, they're just busting through this trail we made for them. It's looking pretty good. This is kind of the last bed we made for them. Which is pretty cool. Every single bed I made in here, they've been using it. And then where we found that really big buck bed, he's still using it as well. So that's pretty cool to see. Just we cut this a month or two ago, I can't remember. I think just a month ago, but the deer are already responding, and they're definitely pretty thick in here. It's just pretty cool to see. I'm gonna clean up a few other things and then we'll get out of here. I haven't shown a lot of browse today, but every single hinge cut we've done, all these stump sprouts have been browsed on. They love it. They can't help themselves. They nip off almost every little thing that comes up. But you can kind of see the trail they've been busting through here. And it cuts up there over to our setup. Alright, we're on the main trail that spits out into the food plot. If you can't tell, this stuff is super thick. I don't mind this canary grass so much, but as we get closer to the food plot, around here there's a bunch of thorns and briars and weeds and stuff, so I got the pump up sprayer. And we're just gonna spray this so we don't have to come back and mess with it again for the rest of summer. Kind of had to bust through here, but we'll go ahead and spray it down. Alright, here's the road that cuts through the middle of our property, and we got a trail cutting in these woods here. And it goes right down the wood line to 96 stand. That tree stand's always been one of the best on the farm. It's kind of in the middle of the whole property, and a lot of stuff meets right there, and everything connects right there. So this is just our access trail. As you can tell, it's really grown up, so we got the little pump sprayer, and we're just gonna walk down here and spray everything and kill it, just like we did at the last spot. Alright guys, that's probably gonna wrap up today. Got a lot done, hung a tree stand, hung up a camera, got everything sprayed down, cleaned up some trails. We're gonna go back and set up one more camera, and then that'll be it for today. Pretty fun weekend. Got some stuff done, found some bucks on public land, got to glass around a lot. So overall, pretty good weekend. This is our front field, by the way. The corn's looking pretty good, pretty solid. Next time we're up here, probably gonna have to finish setting up some tree stands and kind of get some lifelines on them, and probably re-hook up the straps and everything and make sure they're safe. But other than that, the rest of the summer is gonna look like just scouting around, getting ready for deer season, and doing some more glassing. But overall, pretty fun weekend.